had a chance to go back from their exile. And when they went back, they realized that their city walls in Jerusalem had been destroyed. And the book is about their attempts and struggles and ultimate victory in rebuilding the walls. And there's just this one line as they're in the middle of this struggle of trying to rebuild the walls. As they're rebuilding, they have opposition, and the people opposing them are fighting them. And it says that some were building with holding stones here and holding swords in the other hand. They were both fighting and building. But there's this one verse where it says, the people rebuilt the wall in Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 6. So we rebuilt the wall till all of it reached half its height. And here's the verse. For the people worked with all their heart. Oh. The King James says, for the people had a mind to work. And so when we think about this retreat, this isn't the sermon time, but actually it is. When we think about this retreat, we all desire that mind to work. We came together and the theme was church at work, and we found in each other a lot of support, a lot of love, a lot of warmth, as Brother Jared said, a lot of moments together where we've helped each other, where we've listened to each other, where we've shared food together, and we found out that when we have our openness with one another, we all have a desire to do a good thing with our church. Yeah. We all have a desire to be a church at work so that we can be a blessing, not only for the community at large, but also in doing the work, being a blessing for one another. Absolutely. This is a beautiful time, and I hope that you all have heard what you have said to each other. This sermon is not anything new from me. This sermon is just me reminding you of what you have said. Jesus. This sermon is me reminding you and showing you the ways that you have been good craftsmen on this retreat. That you had no consumer mentality. It was not about me. You didn't say I'm always right. You didn't say I did this, where's my return? Instead, there was a craftsman attitude at all times, where you said, I want to support the group, I want to commit to the group, I want to cooperate. I saw all the 5 qualities of craftsmen. There was cooperation in the, I'm not going to get this word right. Initiative course? Initiation course, yeah. Right? The initiation course, where you saw that all the young men, I was mainly with the guys, but I think the women probably had a better time cooperating with one another, according to Chad at least. But with all the guys, there wasn't a sense of ego. They all knew we got to do this together, where it was lifting each other up over the wall, or whether it was this one moment, and this is one of my favorites, where we were on that balancing beam. So we're on a balancing beam that we all have to stand on, and we have to balance it for about 10 seconds. And as we got on, all of us being men, wanted to be this, we wanted to be the fixer. The one who'll make it happen, right? And there was one of us, a young one, who said, we all got to sit. Oh. We didn't want to do that at first. Matter of fact, I was the last one to sit. Wow. But when we sat, it became easier. Oh. We cooperated. Even though this wasn't the oldest of us, we still listened to good advice. In the end, cooperated. And what do you know? One of us finally got it, and we balanced for that 10 seconds. Wow. We learned cooperation. And I know the women got it much quicker than us, because that's us. There was commitment. Commitment to making sure that wall was climbed. Commitment to making sure each person was talked to. Commitment to making sure that you met somebody you didn't know. You went out your comfort box. You didn't just hang around with people you normally hang around with in church, but we all know each other's names, and we may not know each other's names and adjectives, but we know enough about each other now. People made new friendships. People went out their way to share. People went out their way to give of themselves. People went out their way without an agenda to say, how can this person help me in the long run? No, you said, I want to know you now. And you learned who each other was. And you grew. Did you hear each other a few minutes ago? How much joy you all had sharing? How much grow. There was a common vision. You all want the church to grow.
Yeah.
You all want to work together. And the thing that should have created the most division, which was the workshops, where I had 5 groups filled with 6 personalities in each group. That should be about 36 opinions. You know what they say about American Baptists? They say American Baptists, when there's 2 American Baptists, you have 3 opinions. So when you're fighting your business meetings, just know you are not atypical. You are very normal Baptists. Because Baptists always argue and fight. 2 Baptists, 3 opinions. You had 36 or 37 people here. All different opinions, all different backgrounds. But what happened? You ended up saying similar things. You found that the consumer mentality was a bad thing. And you didn't want that for yourself, and you didn't want that for your friends. But you also found that you want a place where you can care, cooperate, where you share, where you work together, where you want to be about something larger than ourselves, where you want to respect the past, where you want to make a legacy for the future, and where you want those in the present to be able to work as hard as possible. In all those groups, you ended up repeating a lot of the same thing without talking to each other.
True. That's right.
Common vision. You had that here. What's the other C word? It's cooperation. I'm trying to keep those words.
Care.
Say that one for last.
Review.
Correction. And criticism. Yes. Do you know how much criticism and correction y'all gave each other?
Yeah.
Especially when you did the initiative or perhaps the fishing. Do you know how you probably got corrected so many times, but you never once took it personal? Because it was about something larger than you. It was about getting somebody over the wall. It was about making sure your pastor doesn't die when you I got corrected more times on that. Don't do that, do this. Don't do that, do this. But I still struggle to live. There's so much correction coming at me. No, but seriously, correction on the balancing, correction on the archery, correction with the fishing, correction with this, correction with the bonfire and how to make it small. All throughout, you were giving each other suggestions on how to improve whatever you were doing. There was criticism and correction, and you took it well. You took it responsibly, took it because you knew that who was giving it to you meant for you to be better, and you knew that you would grow when you trust what others say out of love. That was here now. And look at this openness. Some of y'all says the best retreat ever, or the best retreat you've had. Why? Yeah, the food was great. Yeah, there was heat in the cabin.
Yes.
Yeah, the weather was perfect. Y'all clap for the weather. You gave God. Yes, the committee worked incredibly hard. But the committee can't make you do what you did. It was you. And your attitude. Everyone here had a craftsman attitude. We're here. We want this time to be a blessing. We've come here. We want this to be a blessing. Do you see it? You finally care. That's what it's about. You found ways to care for the smallest things. The silence of nature. Some of y'all just kept taking pictures. I don't know what you were taking pictures of, you just kept taking pictures. You found beauty in anything. You all worked so hard on whatever you were doing that when you ate food that you normally ate, you always eat chicken, and you always eat rice, and you always eat vegetables, but you thought it was delicious because you cared for it. But I love what Sister Lena said. When she, succeeded in her fishing, she said, I prayed. You got to pray for the small things. You want to know why? Because that's how you care. Pray. You ask God to get you focused on the small things. The small things count. They say ministry is the craft of caring for souls. The art of caring for souls. That's not meant for the pastors.
That's true.
Or the deacons. Or whoever, you're the Sunday school teachers. That's meant for everybody. The beauty of a Baptist church, besides how much we argue, is that it says everybody's a minister. Everybody, from the oldest to the youngest, is charged by God to care for and love one another. In our church, we have a ministry, which means the ministry is caring for souls. Caring for one another's important, vulnerable, precious parts of their lives. And we are craftsmen. Take that home with you. Be a craftsman for Christ. Be a craftsman for God. Carry that craftsman attitude with you, where it's about the quality of the work you do to give glory and honor to God.
Amen.
It's about being committed to what God is doing in your life, in your church. It's about cooperating with your brothers and sisters. It's about having care for even the smallest details, because you know God can use the smallest things in the most powerful way. One of the other things I loved about cooperation was the young man had these tires, right? They had to lift tires over this big thing, right? And there was this one moment that was really touching, because you have the guys who were big and strong, right? You have David and Jared and Doug, right? They're the big, strong guys. So you have guys who just aren't as big as them and as strong as them, like me, right? Right? We all have different sizes and shapes, different capacities to live. But you want to know what? There was a task that demanded not that everybody be massive and strong. Because if everybody was Jared and David and Doug, then Jared and David and Doug, when they had to climb, Jared, David, and Doug would have a hard time lifting Jared, David, and Doug. But thank God there were skinny boys like Pastor Tim, and not so skinny guys like Andre and Sage. Though Sage may not be able